to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine. All right, so I'm gonna do a little review on this Netflix show that came out. I think last weekend, Friday. I believe last Friday, the 15th. It's called Umbrella Academy. Now I ain't watched the whole thing. I watched like half of it, and then I'm gonna watch the second half before this weekend is up and give you the review on the second half. So I'm just gonna do the first half, like the first 6 episodes. No, I think it's 10 episodes and all. So I'm doing like the first 5 and then the last 5. So I'm gonna tell you what I know about or what I think about this just from what I've seen so far. It's okay. It's a pretty good series. It's okay. It's worth watching. Like I want to finish watching it. Like sometimes I get halfway through a show and it's like, all right, I'm cool. You know, maybe if I get time, I might watch it. You know, whatever. But I want to finish watching it. And so this is a show based on the previous property. It was a comic book, a Dark Horse comic called by the same name. Now, I'm not familiar with the comic, but I'm familiar with the concept. It's similar to X-Men mixed with a little bit other things that Marvel was doing. So it's kind of like people with special abilities all go to this school and they learn how to use their powers. But it's different because this guy kind of adopted these kids and raised them as his kids. But he was kind of he was a like a not caring kind of father, like what's them kind of the parents of those kids that they push their kids to excel and everything, but they don't show them too much love. It's all about so when they do something good is all right. So what else can you do? Like them kind of parents, and and so the story takes place after they all grown, but then they do flashbacks to when they was kids or whatever. So it starts off when they all born, and this is the whole thing. They didn't even explain this. You probably understand this later, but for some reason, all the kids are they all the same age then? I'm just thinking, all the kids that was born all at the same time to all different women all around the world, these women were not pregnant at all. And they wasn't pregnant, and they just up and had the baby. I mean, they was up and was pregnant, like 9 months pregnant, ready to give birth in like an instant. And so nobody knew what the hell happened, what went on with that. So the rich guy, the father figure went around. He went around trying to adopt every child that was born in this incident. And he got 7 of them. He got 7 of them, yeah. So, and they said it was 43 of them. So, I guess the other, the other 36 or so will reveal themselves in time because they all somewhat have special abilities. Okay, so, okay, you get the concept. All right, so where the show kind of take place is it's present time. The dad's just passed away. So now all the kids, they went out they separate ways because they all grown now, and they kind of got like these daddy issues where it's more like because he didn't show them no kind of like love or whatever. So they all it's like some kids resent that and some kids respect that and some kids like we got to do what our parents say. So, it's everybody got their own way of dealing with it. So they all grown and they all moved out the house, but they all come back because the father died. They slowly give you what's going on in the show. It's not one of them shows where you know what's going on and you kind of like, okay, well, let's see how they handle this. It's one of them shows they drop you in the middle of a lot of stuff and they don't explain that much. And slowly it reveals itself why is this that? Why is this that? Slowly that reveals and you just don't know until like later. Now, you got to decide if you like that or not. Some people I talk to, they don't like that because they couldn't get past the first episode because of the way they didn't explain anything. Like why do they look like the way they look or whatever. what's going on here, what's going on there, why is this like that, why is this? It's a talking monkey too. Never explain what's the deal with that. How was this monkey? He's not just talking. He's very intelligent. So have has a chimp. It's a chimpanzee that's just like basically proper Englishman chimpanzee. I guess he was like the butler, or they talk to him like he's basically like a friend of the family. But I guess he's like Alfred. So he's got like an Alfred like character, but he's a chimpanzee, and he don't show no signs of being a monkey. Like he don't like make monkey noises or hang upside down or eat bananas. No, he act just like a man. He just happened to be a monkey. Okay. Never explain that. Never explain why this monkey's so intelligent. Never explain his role. He just kind of there. Okay. So, let me explain. Let me talk about the five. You got number one, like I said, for some reason. Now this is like one of the first. You find out a little bit later about him, like episode 4 or 5. But for some reason, he's huge, right? Like bigger than the person should be, even weightlifters or whatever. It's like it's clearly a muscle suit or a big suit where he got his clothes on underneath it, but he's huge. And and all the other characters, when they see him, they all look surprised. So everybody's like, whoa, how the hell you so big? So this is so this makes the audience immediately ask the question, okay, so he wasn't always that big. So what's the deal? You didn't get the answer to that till maybe like the 4th episode, I believe. And I don't want to spoil nothing because the way they set the show up, it's kind of a spoiler not really a spoiler, but if for some reason they don't want you to know. They want you to see it reveal itself later. So he's huge, and he's on the moon for some reason. And that they haven't explained that. It's something to do with their dad told him to wait on the moon for some reason for instructions. I guess it's like a space station or whatever. It's a lot of science fiction elements anyway, so I'm not asking questions why how's he just like living on the moon. Okay. So and then, what? I don't remember who's number 2, 3. I just know 1 and 5, and I think old boy is 4. So I don't remember the exact numbers. I'm just gonna go by what I think they are. I think number 2 might be the girl. Now, it's played by I don't know her name. God damn it, what's her name in it? I'm just calling number 2. That's the female of the group. It's 2 females actually, but this one is the young black lady. I forget her name, but she looked good. And I'm looking at her character when they introduce her. She looked like a actress or a model or something. She looks famous for some reason. And you find out that later when they reveal her power, she has like a power of like persuasion or something, where she can kind of like tell people stuff and they do it or something like that. And they didn't even make that clear about her power. She kind of just like vaguely talk about it, and they show a flashback when she used it, but they don't never really show them like using her power yet. And I guess she didn't know how to fight too, because later on they end up getting a scuffle and she do some wicked martial art moves. So okay, so then you got the 3. I'm gonna call them I guess 3. And this is the guy. This is the kind of comic relief guy. He can see dead people. That's his whole thing. See dead people, talk to him. He could probably do more with it, but he's trying to block his power out because he don't like it, and I don't blame him. But he stays stoned all the time, so he won't see these people. So they kind of start with him in a little rehab place, and first thing you gotta do is go buy drugs as soon as he get out. And the rehab dude's like, yeah, see you next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you'll be back. And I mean, it was kind of funny, but he's a little over the top for me. He's one of them characters that, they play for laughs, but it's just a little too much for me. After a while, those characters kind of get on my nerve. They always around, but they don't do much. But get high and throw in a joke or two or whatever. It's cool. I mean, they gonna give him they probably gonna give him more of a reason to be there later. So okay, and you got number 4. Now this guy, this is the pretty much your typical superhero guy, vigilante. I guess he got precision. Now I don't know exactly what his power is, but when I see him, he throws some knives and they make them and they like turn a corner or something. I think he got some kind of precision power where, because I think he like throw knives, like I said, and it always seem like they turn or do stuff that they're not supposed to do. I'm not sure if he make the knives move, excuse me, or he do something that is supposed to be within somebody. It's supposed to be within a believability of physics that he can do this, or is it his powers? I don't know. But I think that's about all the extent of his power, like precision. And he's the only one going out and trying to like catch criminals. The rest of them just kind of like living their life or whatever. And we got the number 5, which he can teleport, which is a cool power. I don't really like the character per se at all. Basically, he was, and this is the thing, you see this on the trailer. He was teleporting, and he's going to try to time travel. This was in the flashback, and he ended up going too far in the future, and then found out that the I guess the world was blown up or everything was gone. So when he come back, he was like, "Oh yeah, I was in the future for 40 years. I'm 50 years old now," but he's still in the kid body. They don't really explain why. He just like, "Oh, I'm a 50-year-old in the kid body," and he like do stuff that an older man would do. A kid, that's the joke. Drink black coffee and read the newspaper and stuff that those do. And it's cool. He's kind of annoying to me because he's trying too hard to be arrogant and it's like just showing to me, and I'm not feeling it. But he got a cool power of teleportation. I really don't like the fact that they got him like slashing throats, like he teleport behind you and slash your throat, like that's his main thing. And I'm like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. But I mean, I guess it's, keeping to the comic. All right, then we got number 6. She has no power. I believe what they're alluding to, she has power, it's just been dormant. They show she's it's paid by Ellen Page, and she's kind of like, she's the ordinary one. And she's the one that I always feel like she left out because she don't have power. And I just feel like later that's gonna be a plot point. Now I ain't got to that yet, but I feel like that is gonna be that's got to be what they setting up for. Where she thinks she don't have power, but she probably got the best power. Like they do that in these shows. So okay, those are your your whole Umbrella Academy, and and it's all right so far. Like I said, they don't explain nothing. They got these 2 other characters that come out there. They look like they the Men in Black. Now this is they call Hazel and Cha Cha, played by Mary J. Blige. By the way, she played Cha Cha. Now I looked them up I looked the comic up. That actually was a male character. So I mean I know they try to add diversity to it, but Mary J. Blige, but she doing a good job though. She actually doing a good job as the other agent. I like the way they banter back and forth, especially the guy who played Hazel. I forgot his name, but he played in this other show on Netflix called Mindhunter as a serial killer, and he's like huge, but he's like a good actor. He's a funny guy, and his delivery and timing is so on point, man. Like his banter, his banter with Mary J. Blige is like is priceless. I really like the dynamic between the 2 characters. They're interesting characters, but they drop them in there, and you don't know who the hell they are, where they come from, and later, like I said, small details reveal themselves. So this is how they play this. They don't give you no information. They trying to make you put the information together yourself. I mean, they trying to make you figure out what's going on yourself without giving you no for real information. Now, some people might like that and like to follow the clues to, get to the point. And some people, I've talked to some people that just don't like that, and they stop watching the show because they want to know what the hell going on. As far as I can tell, they some kind of time travel police or something. And because they throwing out clues of the bullets they using was a bullet casing from the 30s, or they using old weapons from way back in the day. They found a fingerprint that matched a fingerprint from 1935 or something. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It was like, okay, so they time travel police that travel through time to stop other time travelers. That's what I'm figuring. But they are very, they have no regard for like nothing. That's how I was like, man, time travel, if you're a time travel police, don't you take care and to not destroy property or just like not mess with the timeline. So you got to be careful what you do, who see you and what you do. If somebody take a picture, what you destroy, because you could destroy something that's significant to something later. You know what I'm saying? So you can't do that. I'm thinking if you police in time travel, you definitely can't, just go around just wreaking havoc. And that's what they doing. They just, they wear these little masks, which I don't know why they wear these masks. I saw the comic, they put the little mask, they got the mask on, but they wear like these cartoon character masks for no reason. Maybe that will reveal itself, but right now it's no reason. So I like the characters of Cha-Cha and Hazel. They're very interesting. The Umbrella Academy characters, I don't really care for none of them for real. I actually like the person with no power the most. The Ellen Page characters, she's more interesting than the rest of them. The guy that throw the knives, he's kind of cool because he seemed like that typical vigilante guy that he's tracking down the leads, and he got his girlfriend, or his ex-girlfriend is like the cop on the force where he get his information from, stuff like that. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting, but everything else is not. They're taking a little too long to get to the main plot because they're dealing with a family issue so long that the main plot is kind of getting pushed in the back. So it's coming out all the way into like episode 5, where you like, if you don't get to what's going on, then I'm gonna lose my patience. I feel like, because you can, in one episode, you can give us everybody, all the characters and all their little problems in the first episode, but they took them like 3 episodes to get to really the meat of the plot. So, just for that, I think it's good. And I got to finish watching it to get a full assessment on it. But as of right now, it's interesting, but it's not the best. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it right now. Like I said, I only watched up to 5. I'm gonna watch the last second half and see if I like it more. But as of right now, it's just pretty good. It's okay. It's worth checking out. All right, so that is my review for Umbrella Academy. Check it out. You got to be patient. You got to be patient with it because it starts with it starts with just a lot of development, character development, and no plot development. So it depends on what you like more. The main plot or character development. It's all that's on you. All right, thanks for checking out the video. I'm gonna be out of here and check out my second half of this review, Umbrella Academy, the second portion of the season, and I'll give a full review on how I think overall the whole show. So, all right, thanks for checking out my video.